So I'm back with another interview, and I'm very, very happy to be pleased to be joined by the number 10 ranked UFC flyweight in the world and the next contender for the UFC flyweight championship. I'm joined by Steve and Astro Boy Erceg. How you going, Steve?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You're a hard man to get a hold of sometimes, but it's good to be talking to you.
My pleasure.
So like let's draw in our heads. Like, let's just imagine what's going through your head. You've knocked out Matt Schnell, and did you think this opportunity was going to come to you so quickly?
Nah, I definitely didn't. I thought it was more likely that I get put on ice till the August Perth card. Um, but yeah, just the way everything's worked out, the way the division is, they didn't really have that many people that could fight Pantoja in Brazil, and obviously that's what he really wanted. So, um, yeah, I'm grateful being the opportunity to get the opportunity, and obviously to be in the position I'm in.
Yeah, definitely. And how do you look at Pantoja as an opponent? Obviously, you've probably watched a lot of Pantoja. Probably even when you're on the regional scene, you've probably watched a lot of his fights. So how do you rate him just on his striking, his grappling?
Um, Obviously, he's a very good fighter. His grappling, I think, is at a much higher technical level than his striking is, but he makes up for what he lacks in the striking with a tough chin and just strong mental toughness. Um, I think I'm better than him technically on the feet, and just got to make him miss and hit him with my best shots.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, looking at Pantoja, he sort of like chads his way to victory, if you want to word it that way. Like it's just
Yeah,
it's all grit, like on the feet especially, because he does gas. That's something you'll notice in a lot of his fights. He gasses early, but he just doesn't stop. It's the best way to describe
no,
it.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, because he can't fight the way he fights without gassing. He's 100% all the time, and then he needs to take those rests. Um, because otherwise he just completely die, right? So
Yeah.
he forces his opponents to fight his pace though, and that's like his biggest asset, I think. Everybody's so excited when he stops moving forward and stops attacking you. They go, "Oh, I can just take my break and like touch him on the outside now." It's like, well, in those situations, you're gonna make him pay too. You can't just fight his pace because that's how he's winning.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like a lot of people they underestimate your game, your grappling, especially. A lot of people, everyone really rates your striking, but people don't realize like on the regional scene, you're winning all your fights with your grappling, with your jiu-jitsu, your wrestling. I feel like because of the type of guys you fought a great anti-wrestler in David Dvorak, a great anti-wrestler in Alexandra Costa, that you've generally been fighting nightmare matchups and people don't even realize it. But striking, isn't your typical on the regional scene. It wasn't the way you were winning most of your fights. So I feel like you'll get to use a lot more of your grappling in this fight. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how people's opinions change from one fight to the next. It's the first fight I fought. I couldn't strike. I was only a grappler, and then I finish. What's his face?
Matt
Um,
Schnell.
Matt Schnell. There you go. I finished Matt Schnell. All of a sudden, I'm a great boxer and a great striker, and I have no ground game. So it's I feel like I have a very well-rounded game. I do feel like I can go with Pantoja on the ground, and um, now he's got to prove it, eh?
Yeah, definitely. And you look at his fights. A lot of the guys he has struggled with, like Askar Askarov, Figueiredo, like these are guys who can really scramble really well, get like good positions from the scrambles. I feel like you do have the ability to do that. Like obviously I'm a little biased. I'm from Perth. I'm Australian. I'm a big fan of yours,
Yeah.
but I really do. I look at this stylistically, and I think if you're going to pick anyone in the top 10 to beat Pantoja, I feel like you are one of the toughest matchups for him.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously you wouldn't have signed the contract if you didn't feel that way.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be in a different sport if I didn't think I was the toughest guy.
Yeah, exactly. And I watched one of your other interviews, and I sorry to whoever it was, I can't remember who it was with, but apparently, like you said that Makaya was like giving you a bit of trouble or something like that.
Oh, I wasn't in trouble. He was trying to big dog me backstage. It's like,
Oh yeah,
I was trying to do a similar thing, just like, make it known that I didn't care who he thought he was, and so he just brought stuff up like, "Oh, you're quite old, aren't you? You're very old," and so that sort of stuff, like friendly, uh,
Oh, yeah.
trash talk. I guess it was good fun. Wasn't a bad experience at all.
It's a bit of a weird thing to say, though. There's only like a 5-year age difference between you. Like, it's not really
Yeah,
that
I know. No, well, yeah,
difference.
it's like, what is he gonna say? It's like he can't. I mean, I don't know what he could bring up that would be, uh, really disrespectful or whatever. But like, yeah, I'm in the division. I'm right there. We're not gonna fight now, are we? And if we are, it's like whatever. I don't know. Yeah, is what
Yeah,
it is.
exactly. You could have brought up, hey, at least I don't have to come back to win all my fights. But it's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, awesome. Also, I noticed in your fight against Dvorak, were you wearing a West Coast Eagles mouth guard?
Yes, I've had that mouth guard for I don't know since I was playing footy back in the day, and then I finally got rid of it after that fight.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed that, and like I was instantly, I was like, fuck yeah, representing the West Coast. So you're a West Coast fan?
Yeah, definitely. My favorite. Yeah, definitely my favorite team and my favorite player or favorite athlete of all time is Ben Cousins. So
Yeah, yeah, Ben Cousins, icon. Yeah, definitely. The John Jones of
that's it.
AFL for sure as well.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I seen that and I was like, fuck yeah, this is the most perf thing I've ever seen, especially on your post-fight interview, you're like, perf represent. I was like, fuck yeah, it's the
Yeah.
most perf thing you can do. Kick some ass with a
Yes.
West Coast Eagles mouth guard and then go
That's
represent.
it.
Yeah, no, that was
That's
awesome.
it. Yeah.
So, reading all about you before your fight, before you even fought in the UFC, you were talking about how you had a plan. Like I think it was 5 fights get for a title. You here on your 4th
Yeah.
fight, you've even exceeded your own expectations. People might have read that and said, "Oh, this guy's delusional and all this stuff," but here you are, 4 fights in, you're already fighting for a title. So, yeah, just craziness.
Yeah, it's funny how life works. Like, yeah, even before that, like just over a year ago, I couldn't get a visa to get to the US, and yeah, it felt like, oh, what am I supposed to do now if I can't fight in the UFC? Like, what am I doing here? And yeah, all of a sudden, UFC comes to Perth. I get to fight in front of the UFC guys, and they sign me on the spot. And then yeah, less than a year in, and I'm fighting for a title. It's nice. I definitely had the belief that that I was one of the best in the world straight away after getting to the UFC. But yeah, it's still like shocking to get there this quick.
Yeah, definitely. Even as a fan, like seeing it, I was like thinking, you know what? Maybe after you beat Schnell, maybe you versus Royval or something. And then I wake up, and it was actually my mate actually trained with you a day before. My mate Cade from Drillage Combat Academy, and
Ah,
literally the
yeah,
day after, I see that you've announced for the title fight. I was like, what the fuck is this world? Like, it was so cool though. I was like so happy. I woke up to it.
yeah.
Uh,
People were asking me if it was an April Fool's joke or something. I was like, I don't. I think it's a bit early for that, but sure.
with that whole preparation and stuff like that, have you been training with like your teammates, like yelling stuff out to you in Portuguese just to prepare you for the atmosphere?
Nah, most of my teammates are pretty abusive anyway. They just abuse me in English, so it's nothing different. I feel like the Aussie culture is to take the piss and abuse your mates. So it doesn't matter really what they say. I'm used to it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like as long as you're prepared for that, because yeah, I feel like you're probably going to have to get. I think I read that you said that you're probably going to piss everyone off and have to be escorted out by security after you win. So at
Yes,
least you're
I think
prepared for that.
there's a 95% chance that they throw beers at me as I leave.
Oh well, you got your celebration. If you can try to catch one of them,
That's
if you can.
catch them. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's good then. But yeah, craziness, man. Like just looking at the whole rise. Like I've been a fan of you since the Eternal days, and now to see you, you're main eventing over a Jose Aldo fight in Rio.
Yeah, yeah, he's one of my favorite fighters. So yeah, the fact that he's on the same card is exciting, and then yeah, the fact that he's below me is unreal. It's yeah, a great privilege.
Yeah, definitely. Like it just feels like I don't know. It feels like we're in a weird timeline right now where like it doesn't feel real, but like I'm fucking excited for it. I think you're gonna pull off an upset as well. So I'm
Oh,
so keen for this fight, man.
no, I appreciate it.
Normally I'm a bit more professional, but with you, Steve, I'm gonna let my bias come out there, but there's no point even hiding it.
Yeah, no worries. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, obviously, you've been messaging me for years, and it's crazy how uh, clued in to the uh, to all the news and stuff you are, just because stuff hasn't been announced yet, and you were messaging me going, "Oh, is this happening? Is this happening?" Like, well, I can't actually say anything yet, but yeah, how do you know, sort of thing. Yeah, it's quite crazy.
Yeah, I'm always keeping my eyes are everywhere. I think it was the Clayton Carpenter situation because he pulled out, and I literally found his dad like saying it on Tapology, and then I messaged you like right as he said it. So
Yeah,
yeah, probably caught you off
yeah,
guard a little bit.
yes.
And yeah, how crazy is it? You were a big underdog against Clayton Carpenter, and that fight didn't end up happening. And then you went in there, you beat a ranked guy, then you beat Costa, and now you're fighting for a championship. And he hasn't even fought since you two were scheduled to fight last year.
Yeah, I know. I mean, obviously, I assume he must have had a pretty debilitating injury. The fact that he still hasn't fought, and I think also just shows how active I've been. Uh, Dvorak, I don't think's fought since we fought, and I'm about to fight. Yeah, my third fight since him. So, um, and Costa, I think Costa's fighting on the same card I'm fighting on too. So, it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, he's crazy. And a lot of people are worried about your composure in this fight. But I feel like the fact you came in, you debuted against a top 10 opponent, I feel like composure is like one of your best assets.
Yeah, I feel like I don't get too excited or too low or anything like that. I feel like I'm just naturally a pretty relaxed guy, and I don't know if it's years and years of competing, but I feel like I'm good at compartmentalizing situations and these types of opportunities, and I'll be fine once I get in there. It'll be like another fight.
Yeah, exactly. Like that just, I don't know, you can sort of tell like some people may be under the pressure and everything, but I don't know. The fact that you came in Canada, short notice, beat up David Dvorak, then beat Costa, had a bit of a shaky second round, but you come back, win the third, and then you going in absolutely fucking smoke match Snell. Like it is just like, it just shows composure is like one of the best parts of your game, like I say. So yeah, I don't think composure is going to be anything people need to worry about for sure.
I think the one thing that can give anybody confidence and composure is just how many hours of training I put in. Just I'm very I believe very highly in my skill level, and that gives me confidence going into any situation. So yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And have you watched like obviously you and Pantoja? I think you only share one common opponent, but have you actually watched this fight with Matt Schnell back?
I watched it, yeah, the other day, and it was a lot sloppier than my fight was, but he did finish him faster. So I am cognizant of that. I am aware that he probably hits pretty hard, but um, I think he's going to be swinging at air a lot.
Yeah, and he at least he got hurt a lot more than you did against Matt Schnell. That's something to take into it.
Yes, yeah. Anytime you get into a slugging war like that, it's just yeah, it's not good for your chin.
Yeah, definitely not. And I don't know how his chin's held up for so many years, man. He's taken so much damage, but it just doesn't seem to fuck off. So maybe you're going to be the man to go in there and crack it.
That would be nice, but yeah, those Brazilians are tough, so can't rely on the knockout. Go out there and make sure I can beat him up for 5 rounds if necessary.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, go in there. Like, I feel like this is going to be an absolute war. And, we've seen you in like people, I feel like a lot of people just underestimate you because, obviously there's the memes that are going around, Steve Carell, you was the guy, Steve Carell in the office, all these different
Yeah.
memes. And you're playing into it though. I love it. I actually bought your new shirt coming out. I'm keen to get it when it comes here.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's people don't look at me and think that I'm a fighter, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Yeah, if they want to underestimate me, that's their prerogative, and yeah, if you're fighting me and underestimate me, it's to your own peril.
Yeah, definitely. Have you ever had like a situation where like maybe someone like doesn't know you're a fighter and they try to like big mouth you or try and talk some shit, not realizing that you could literally kill them with your bare hands? Is like yet any situation like that?
um, Not very often. I think mostly people don't take me seriously, and I'm not really at the pub or uh, at clubs and stuff super often because obviously I'm training a lot. But
Yeah,
yeah, every now and then it does happen. But like in those situations, just because I'm a fighter doesn't mean I necessarily am going to win. It's a street fight at the end of the day. It might not just be one; it could
yeah,
be two, three. So try to avoid it as much as I can. But um, and yeah, try not to have a big head just because I do it for a living.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've spoken to a few fighters where they say like, yeah, groups of people that try to jump them, and they're not like delusional enough to think that yeah, I'm going to knock all these free guys out. Like they just sort of avoid
Yeah,
them situations.
yeah, for
And
sure.
and with the whole Steve Carell thing going around, there's a lot of people curious about your like ethnic background. Seen some people think you're Jewish. I've seen some people think you're Italian, but I believe you're half Croatian, half Italian, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
thought so.
So my
I
dad's
seen,
side is Croatian and my mum's side's Italian.
yeah, I seen. Obviously, I knew the last name was Croatian, and then I seen in your interview where you said you're going to go in there like Rocky, and then you have Italian heritage. So, yeah, I thought that.
Yeah. Well, he's the one that brought up Rocky, but yeah,
Yeah,
Pantoja that is. He brought up Rocky, and I'm gonna give some random dude a shot that doesn't deserve it or whatever. And it's like, yeah, why would you do that to an Italian bloke?
yeah, definitely. And one thing about is it like Sicilian Italian? Is that like where in Italy it is? Your mum's from?
Yeah, I don't know how you know all this, but yes, it is Sicilian.
Okay. That was honestly just a guess.
Well, very good guess then.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the tough Italian people you meet are Sicilian, but then you got like Marvin Vittori who's from the north. So, but
Yeah, they're the big Italians. I'm one of the small Italians.
yeah, but still as tough as the other ones. That's for sure. Fuck. I hope I'm not dick riding too much in this interview. I'm trying to keep it professional. Like my fanboy comes out a little bit much in a lot of this
Yeah,
recently.
no, all good, all good.
Yeah, I hope I'm not big boating you too much. Like people are gonna comment on this, like, "Well, fuck, man, like, hop off." But yeah, like going on to it, like you know, you train at you trained at Wilkes your whole life, right? Like, well, not your whole life, but your whole like martial arts journey.
Yeah, so I started here when I was 14, had a small break, and then like committed myself again when I was 16, and yeah, I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, so that's like a crazy thing for Daniel Wilkes to like watch you come up this whole time, and now you're going into Rio, you're going into enemy territory with a bunch of angry, crazy Brazilians, and you're gonna go in there and you're gonna fucking try and perform one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. So that's like you say, this is a movie moment.
Yeah, it's I'm very lucky to have great people around me. Dave's done a lot for me. Um, he's sacrificed a lot. It's like not just I've sacrificed a lot, obviously, but you don't see, yeah, the coaches and training partners and what they've done around me to make or help me get to this point. So, yeah, we're gonna go over there as a united front and yeah, do it together.
Fuck yeah, I love it. Bring back another belt to Australia, hopefully, and then hopefully JDM can get the welterweight belt, and then Perth will be the new Dagestan, I reckon.
That's it. We're the answer to the Dagestani wrestling, that's for sure.
Exactly. You go in there, hopefully smoke Pantoja, and then obviously with a win, I would imagine we can never know what's going to happen in there, but let's just touch wood. You go in there, you beat Pantoja. I would imagine you're aiming to get on that Perth card in August.
Yeah, for sure. Got a lot of people that support me in Perth, and I want to bring back not just bring the belt back to Perth, but I want to give them a show in Perth. So I'm doing everything I can do to make sure that it's going to be a good one in Perth.
Yeah, definitely. And looking at the division, who do you think that would even be? Like, because obviously there's Makayev, but can you really give Makayev a title shot right now? I feel like he needs another win. You got Cape, who can't really make weight at the moment. I don't know what's happening with him. Morono's coming off a
Yeah,
loss. Like, yeah,
yeah. I think it's probably likely to either be Royval or if Nicolau beats Perez, they could give it to Nicolau too. But they might just give it to Makayev because yeah, he is on a good run. Has a lot of followers. I don't care who it is. Just give me somebody good to fight in Perth.
yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's the same result.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you have trained in Muay Thai and you fought in Muay Thai. I just wanted to. I think I've spoken to you about this, but I think you're 3-1 in Muay Thai, right?
Um, I think yeah. So two. I think I'm 2-1 as an amateur and 1-0 as a pro, or 3-1 as an amateur and 1-0 as a pro. I'm not sure. Something like that.
Okay, yeah, that was a big part of why, like, I because I've done a lot before you were in the UFC. Like, I was doing a lot of tweets, like talking about the deceptive striking, because like obviously everyone thought you were a one-sided grappler before. Now everyone thinks you're a one-dimensional striker, but back then people like weren't really rating the striking until I like would post clips and stuff like that. You could see like there's a Charles Oliveira type striking to your Muay Thai game. Like you throw the punches very straight like him, you kick the same. Like I don't know, there's some shootbox type in your Muay Thai. Like there's some shootbox in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to describe it. I have a style of I try to make everything as technically proficient as I can, and yeah, obviously I've had a lot of people to a lot of good coaches, but obviously I watched like Conor McGregor and stuff growing up, and so I try to keep my punches as straight as he used to keep them, and a lot of things I do to try to be as good as possible, and yeah, straight punches and clean technique is the least I could do to make it good.
Yeah, exactly. Like they say, straight punches beat looping punches.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the key right there. But yeah, you obviously trained with one of the only people to beat you, which is Rich Lockett. And
Yep.
you know, and I'd imagine he's a big help to have because obviously he's doing his own thing now in professional boxing.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's ungodly fit. It's crazy how fit he is, and um, he comes forward and he throws punches, and he has deceptively good head movement. He's technically better than he looks, and he's a hard guy to deal with, and he's prepared me and helped prepare me for a lot of fights, and I'm grateful that he's come down and been a part of us for so long now, and definitely a lot of my development for counter striking especially, but striking in general has been because of him.
Yeah, and you know, I'd imagine he's a good training partner to have to prepare for a fighter like Pantoja as well. You know, like you say, tough, moving forward a lot. So that's obviously, I'd say his head movement's probably a lot better than Pantoja though.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been the perfect guy to emulate Pantoja's style.
Yeah, and you have another teammate. He's only just, I think he's now 2-0 as an amateur. Lewis Christensen, I think his name is.
Yeah,
That
Louis
is how you say it.
Christopherson.
Christoph, yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a beast, and he was in your corner. And you know, as an amateur, like obviously you guys have a lot of belief in him to have him in your corner, like at that stage in his career. So like, just talk to me about like the potential of him and as a good, you know, as a training partner as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's a lot better than I was at his age, and he works really hard. That's the biggest thing I'd say about him. Like he's in the gym all the time, and he's working on his skills. And yeah, I think he can be. He can be whatever he wants to be. If he wants to be a UFC fighter, he'll do it. He just needs to keep showing up. He's got a lot of talent, and he's got the mental fortitude, it seems, and the work ethic. So I'm excited to see what he can do in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I remember watching his amateur debut on the Eternal, and it was like I was just blown away by how good this guy was. Like 18 years old, his first amateur fight, and he was looking like a seasoned pro out there. It was crazy. The guy he fought as well was very talented.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like he's had two guys that seemed to be quite tough and quite promising, and he finished one and had a hard fight with the other one. So no, I got a lot to look forward to with him for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I'd imagine like just with your success in the UFC, it opens the door to a lot more guys out of Wilkes to, you know, obviously make their way to the UFC or bigger promotions.
Yeah, no, for sure. You see that in any gym, really. See
Yeah.
one guy get a break, and it's I think convenient for the UFC to fly out on late notice somebody that's also from that gym. So, um, yeah, I look forward to having a few guys work up the ranks, and yeah, if we can have a few guys from Wilkes in the UFC, that'll be really cool. Testament to the gym and the hard work.
Yeah, definitely. And is Louis gonna be in your corner for the fight against Pantoja?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, gee, that's just crazy. Imagine saying as a 2-0 amateur, you're cornering, you know, a fighter fighting for the UFC championship. Like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, he's earned it. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So how do you actually? What is your prediction for actually how this fight goes against Pantoja? Obviously, you know, you think you're going to win. Obviously, you know, I'm not expecting you to say you think Pantoja is going to win. But like,
Yeah.
how do you see yourself getting this one done?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna outstrike him on the outside. I'm gonna move, I'm gonna make angles. I'm just gonna make him walk onto shots. I think I can I think I can hurt him. I'm not relying on it. So I'm prepared for 5 rounds, but I really do think I'm going to touch him up on the feet.
And with like a fighter like Pantoja, as we talked about earlier, he does gas. Is there like a plan to like invest a bit with like leg kicks, maybe slow him down, hit him to the body a bit, just to try and slow him down as much as possible with that full energy style he has?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm always looking to find different ways to um, take cardio and invest in those long term strikes that take effect later in the fight. So yeah, I'll definitely look at all the zones as my coach calls it and see what I can find.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, nah, it's like just looking at it, like just looking at the fight, I like just keep envisioning it. It's just like must be crazy for you, like 4 fights to already see yourself on a UFC main card, main event poster and all this stuff. Like it's I don't know, it's just sorry, it's like so weird just to like think about this, like as someone watching you from the regional days. It's like,
Yeah, no, I saw the poster and yeah, it's still weird to see my face there and um, yeah, it's a trip, that's for sure.
yeah, and you've had a few people, like a few fighters, not even like, I don't know if Sean O'Malley was dissing you. I think it was more dissing Pantoja, but when the fight got announced, he's like, who? But I think that was more of a diss to Pantoja because they've gone back and forth a few times. I don't think that was a diss to you.
I mean, even if it was just to me, I don't care. I don't expect him to know who I am, so
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
what do I care?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it would, obviously, you win the belt and stuff like that. Every champion after they win the belt, they seem to as soon as they win it, they seem to want to go move up and fight for the bantamweight belt. But what are your plans as a champion? Like, what do you aim to be as a UFC champion if you beat Pantoja?
Yeah, I just want to defend the flyweight title for a while. I want to get my goal is to get to 6 UFC title defenses, and then I can start thinking about moving divisions and all that good stuff. But yeah, I definitely want to make a statement in the flyweight division first.
Yeah, definitely. Like, we haven't really seen a dominant champion at flyweight since pretty much Demetrius Johnson, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, not
Thanks.
I mean, obviously, Cejudo probably could have been, but he left immediately. So, yeah, nobody's really defended the belt for defended the belt for an extended period of time yet.
Yeah, and was like Demetrius Johnson like a big inspiration for you coming up? Because obviously, I mean, he's the flyweight pioneer when you look at it. Pretty much, like he was the first champion. He's the most dominant champion, and he put flyweight on the map. So was he like a big inspiration on your MMA journey?
Obviously, I looked at his skills and stuff like that, and um, I was trying to do things he was doing and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I was the kind of guy that looked at him and was like, "Oh, that's the guy I'm going to be fighting in 5 years or 10 years or whatever." So I looked at him almost as the enemy at the time. Whereas now I don't look at him like that at all. I look at him like, yeah, one of the best to ever do it, and um, yeah, just that. Yeah, if you're in flyweight, uh, I probably have looked at you like competition. That's yeah.
That's a perfect mindset to have. I actually spoke to a past opponent of yours, Sean Gauchi, and he just had nothing but nice things to say about you. He thinks you're going to beat Pantoja, by the way.
Oh, well, I'm glad. Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy. Obviously, he beat me, and that is what it is. But yeah, I feel like respect is earned in that regard for
Yeah,
sure.
he said that skill wise, he thinks you should be the favorite, but obviously, Pantoja got the grit and the level of competition. But he thinks on a skill basis, he thinks you're overall better than Pantoja.
Yeah, well, yeah. Unfortunately, it's not just skills that pay the bills. So you got to be
Yeah,
a lot of other things that come into play. So yeah, we'll find out, eh?
yeah, no, definitely. Not long to go. I think it's 4 weeks away.
Yeah, something like 3.5 or 4. Yeah,
Yeah. So are you gonna what's the word I'm looking for?
acclimate.
Acclimate.
Yeah,
That's
acclimate.
the word I'm
Yeah,
looking for.
yeah. So I'm heading over in 4 days, and I'll be there for 2.5 weeks. Getting ready, yeah, used to the humidity and the time zone, all that good stuff.
Are you gonna be like watching your food and watching it get prepared and everything, and watch all the like water and stuff you're doing, you like making sure you don't get poisoned or anything like that?
I'll definitely be making sure I buy water bottles,
Yeah.
from the store and that sort of thing. As far as the food goes, um, yeah, I don't know. I have to figure that one out.
Yeah, because I don't know how true it is, but there was a fighter a few months ago when they went over to Brazil called Armin Petrosian, and he reckons he got poisoned because he had to pull out of his fight last minute because he had food poisoning and all this stuff. So I don't know. He reckons the Brazilians poisoned him. So it's always, I guess, worth always looking out for if you can.
Yes, I know that the water there is it's like getting barley belly. It's the same thing over there.
Yeah.
So I just have to be careful. You can't have ice in your water and or ice in your drinks and stuff like that. All of that's a potential problem. So
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, thanks for joining me, man. I wish we could talk a bit longer, but obviously you got some other commitments to go
yeah,
to. So yes, sorry if this was like very chaotic. It's a bit harder to get all the questions out and everything when you're like on such a short time constraint. But if you just want to shout out
all
some
good.
sponsors or gyms or just anyone else, that's all good, man. Floor's
Yeah,
yours.
yeah. Thanks to everybody at Wilkes, and I've had a lot of people. Yeah, not just from Wilkes, but a lot of other gyms that have helped out. And thank you to all those guys. The solo sport, but you can't do this by yourself. So appreciate the help.
Easy. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Steve. And I'll be rooting for you back here in Perth when you're over there. And yeah, hopefully you can go in there. Ideally, hopefully you can knock his block off in the first 20 seconds and get in there and get the fuck out. But I imagine you're fighting a gritty opponent. So yeah, I'm expecting like a very similar fight to you versus Haddon, honestly.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, I imagine it's going to be a tough fight, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, thank you so much for joining me, man. It means a lot. And yeah, if you guys like this interview, make sure you like this. Go follow Stephen on Instagram, Erceg Stephen. That's your Instagram. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was sure I got that right. And yeah, thank you for joining me. Peace.